Scorps, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tawana Antoinette. Before we jump into your reading, I just want to say a quick, hearty thank you for 500 subscribers. Next up, we're heading to 1,000. Thank you for your likes, shares, subscribes, the comments that you guys have left. Thank you. So with that said, let's head into your reading. I already pulled a card for you from the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck by Kim Kranz. It's the energy surrounding you. I pulled the shadow card. This is the energy surrounding you right now. The shadow. Although every card in the archetypes deck has a shadow potential, this card asks us to delve into the qualities of the shadow itself. We often think that the shadow can be purified, illuminated, and made right through effort and achievement. However, it is typically the case that our lofty pursuit of ascension and perfection is the very source of shadow material itself. By rejecting parts of ourselves and the work, we begin to separate from the whole. Rather than getting to know the qualities and content of our shadow, we busy ourselves with avoiding its presence. This is denial. When this card appears, it is time to take inventory of those things you've been denying. When the mind responds with, "No, anything but that," you are touching shadow. Find support for this deep inner work and move toward the shadow with patience and compassion. Wow. In the shadow of the gods are the very gods themselves. Reflect on this statement by James Hillman in A Blue Fire. What do you despise about yourself? By answering, you move forward toward the shadow. Now that's deep. And that's a lot of the work I feel like I've been focused on lately. It's incorporating shadow aspects of my personality, of myself, to achieve healing, to break patterns, to acknowledge what area needs more love, more light, more guidance. So I find that to be, it's not a bad energy to be in. It's not a bad energy to ever confront parts of yourself that need more guidance, more love, more development. So yeah, let's jump into your reading. Spirit, what are the messages for Scorpio? What are the collective messages for my Scorps? Collective messages for my Scorps. What do my Scorps need to know right now? What are they all collectively going through right now? Messages for Scorps. Messages for Scorps. Thank you. Okay, Scorps. Are you guys going through an ending or a breakup? Some of you going through an ending or a breakup? I feel like. Clarify the Four of Wands. There are so many endings that you're going through. Some of you may be experiencing the ending of a relationship. Yeah, lots of endings. Clarify the Four of Wands. Okay. Some of you have been thinking about the things that are stable in your life, your household, your partner. You're just thinking about all of these, thinking about things, just the foundation set up around you, marriage, family, home, things like that. Clarify the Four of Wands. Clarify Four of Wands. And in that thinking, a lot of you put an end to certain things and walked away. There are endings all over your reading. Yeah, some of you may have just walked away from a marriage, walked away from a spouse, walked away from a domestic home. I get the sense though that whatever you walked away from, spiritually, you felt guided to do it. Spiritually, you felt led to do it. You felt like this decision was the best decision for you and your higher self, or your highest self. Clarify the World card. Remember, this is tarot. Energies can be flipped, so this could be how you feel. It could also be how someone in your energetic space feels about you. Also remember to check your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, because your messages may be there. Clarify the World card. Thank you. Okay, yeah, some of you definitely just ended a relationship. You ended something, and I see here that something brand new is coming up. More information on the World card. More information on clarify this. Clarify this Ace of Cups. Clarify this Ace of Cups. What is going on here? Clarify this Ace of Cups in the world. Yeah, I just feel like you guys are walking away from something, walking into something else. It's like this, a cycle just ended, and something, you're getting ready for a new seed to be planted, like a new cycle to start. Clarify the World and the Ace of Cups. And this could be in your home and family, like in your home and family life. Clarify the World and the Ace of Cups. Too many. Clarify the World and the Ace of Cups. Some of you could have possibly ended things with a ended things with somebody, a fire sign. Yeah, some of you could have ended things with a fire sign, or you put an ending to a specific situation and you are looking towards going to a fire sign to offer love, or there's someone else who you'd rather be with, who you would rather express your love to, who you would, that person to you is where, like, you'll move from the 8 of Cups to the 10. Some of you are dealing with a person that you're going to move towards, and some of you don't have a person. You're just closing old shit that did not serve you in your home and family life, and you're moving on to new stuff, and Spirit is saying that there are new things awaiting you. Clarify the 4 of Cups. Clarify the 4 of Cups. Some of you, more information for the 4 of Cups. Okay, you want to extend Scorpios. Is there someone in your energetic space that you've been thinking about going towards? It's like in a sea of options that's the person that shines. It's like you have options, but there's one specific person that you've been thinking about that you want to go towards, and it's almost like, I feel like you're scared because you're afraid that they won't feel the same, they won't reciprocate, they won't want you, or you're scared that this person now has options. Clarify the 10 of, maybe between the both of you there was a really sudden ending. When I see the 10 of swords, for me as a reader, that means that there was just an abrupt sudden, like you guys just stopped talking. Somebody either ghosted somebody, somebody just cut off communication, somebody just stopped talking, and it left the other person feeling very betrayed, very hurt, and very wounded. Clarify the 10 of swords. Because I mean, I always feel like you have the responsibility to do what's best for you, but it's always in how you do things. How do you do things? That's what will create a lasting effect, because people will never ever forget how you made them feel, but they'll forget what you did. You know, like they'll forget what you did, and they'll forget just different actions that you have taken, but they'll never ever forget how that made them feel. So clarify the 10 of swords. I don't know who I needed to say that for. Scorps, if you ended something with someone, or someone ended something with you, then you need to be aware of how that action that you did made that person feel. Like you need to acknowledge that, and you need to acknowledge that even though you make decisions that are best for you, it's in how you make those decisions when they're involving another person. Clarify the 10 of swords. Scorpios, I feel like this is you. I feel like you ended things with someone else. Clarify the 10 of swords. It was a fast ending. Very fast ending. Okay. Very fast ending to possibly a situation that was developing, or you're now walking away from. Yeah. Whoever you walked away from, it could be the same person, or you walked away from someone and are headed towards someone else. But whoever you had an ending with, the relationship was toxic. You put the relationship was toxic between the both of you. It's either you guys were either codependent, you guys were doing things to manipulate each other. There's just a very toxic energy. You could also be dealing with somebody who has Capricorn in their chart. You could be dealing with somebody who has Aries in their chart, or this could be you. You could be dealing with a Virgo, or someone with Virgo in their chart, or any of the water signs. There's a lot of love though for whoever you're in this cycle with. There's a lot of love, even though the relationship did get toxic, and it, as a result, it needed to end. I just heard Spirit ended it. Usually sometimes when we experience these sudden abrupt endings, it's because Spirit intervenes, because it's either harmful to one or both parties, and so they put a blockage in it. And oftentimes that blockage will not make sense. It will seem like it's so simple. All we have to do is just talk, or all we have to do is just express our feelings, but that's how you know that it's orchestrated from a higher power, because if it was so simple, it would have been done. If all the person needed to do was talk to you, they would have spoken to you. If all the person needed to do was reach out, they would have done, they would have done that. This is probably orchestrated from the divine. It needed a stop to this situation to protect one or both parties. Now, moving on to the Three of Wands. Someone here is waiting. Who's waiting? Clarify this waiting energy. Someone is waiting to reconcile. Could be you, could be the other person. Someone is, clarify this Three of Wands and Three of Pentacles. Some of you could also be dealing with three people, so like a love triangle, because there's a lot of threes. So like I said, walking away from someone to walk towards another person. Clarify. Okay, so more info. One more card on the thread. One more card. I just feel like someone here is patiently waiting on reciprocating, probably having a reciprocal conversation where not one person is giving too much energy, or one person is the one that is initiating, and only one person is showing that they care. I feel like someone here is waiting on mutual, like the same energy to be reciprocated. All right, so someone is watching and waiting. So I don't know, Scorpios, if it's you watching and waiting to reconcile with someone else to make a situation balanced that was not balanced before. I think it's you. I think it's the person who wants to reconcile with the other one. They're watching and they're waiting. Probably waiting for the perfect moment or a good time. Clarify the Six of Swords. Clarify the Six of Swords. There are lots of threes in this reading. Lots of you are dealing with three people. Or it's a three-person situation. So yeah. Someone here is moving away from a family dynamic to pursue a more single energy. So I get the sense here that some people are, it's like like you're leaving. I don't know if you're like a mom or a dad and the relationship isn't working out and you're pursuing being single because you feel like there's more stability there for you. Whatever you're in right now isn't working out. Some of you may also be dealing with there's a lot of earth. There's a lot of earth. A Taurus or a Capricorn or a Virgo. Clarify this Five of Cups. So much regret. Clarify this Five of Cups. You're in your head about how something turned out in the past. You're in your head. Someone here is just in their head about regret, remorse, how they should have done something differently. But I see here it's kind of like they want to make a move to do it differently. Clarify the Five of Cups. More on the Five of Cups. I really wanted to dig in this reading because it's just, there are so many major arcanas and so many endings. I'm just like, I have to do that for you. Okay, so yeah, someone is very, very remorseful. Yeah, someone here is dealing with a Virgo, a Libra or a Taurus. Could be a Libra or a Taurus, doesn't have to be. Could be a definitely getting earth sign energy though. Capricorn. Yeah, there's fire sign too though. Well, lots of earth energy here. Yes, whoever left the other person is very regretful, very remorseful. They're in their head and it's almost like they're just hung up on how the situation ended with someone else who is very unbothered, might I add, and knows their worth and is sitting in their worth. So I see here, if anybody's going to make a move towards anyone else, it has to be the person that wronged the other person, because that person that was wronged is sitting on their throne in the Empress energy and they're not moving. What's the possible outcome, the most likely outcome for this situation? Empress showed her face again. Like, you right. Most possible, most likely outcome. What's the most likely outcome in this situation? Queen of Cups. Go with your intuition. Go with your intuition and go with your feelings. But don't allow your feelings to... Don't allow your feelings to be used against you. So if you have to protect them, do that. But the message, I feel like the most likely outcome here is somebody will be going with what they intuitively feel. And I'm all about following your intuition. So let's get some advice for you. Advice for Scorps. Advice for Scorpios. I feel like that reading was all over the place, so you have to pick up the parts that resonate with you. If everything does not resonate, do not force it to fit. Check out your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs, because your messages may just be there. Advice for Scorpios. Fork in the road and chaos and conflict. Card number 13 and card number 33. So many threes. There is definitely a third party situation going on here. Love triangle or something. Because so many freaking threes. I said it before. 13. Every choice has a consequence. You've arrived at a fork in the road and are being asked to come to a decision. Will you further your dreams by choosing left or by choosing right? Will you take the road less traveled or the one well worn by others who have come before you? This is your choice and yours alone to make. Circumstances and other people will not make it for you. Be present and do not avoid this junction, for it is an important crossroads. Take heart, as no matter which path you choose, you will have a rich and meaningful experience. All right. And then card number 33, chaos and conflict. Opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well as you become unmoored by it. Scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself anew. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, its essence is also internal, projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and chaos leads to a reordering of things. Conflict provides a way to see more than one side of a situation. Look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter and step away from the fray. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand rather than to be understood. And remember in the reading, I was talking about the Ten of Swords energy, and I went into saying sometimes it's good for us to do what's best for us, but also it's in the way we do things. I just feel like there's probably like some shadow work that you Scorps are doing right now in assessing your role in a situation, seeing your parts of a situation, and that may be brought on because you kind of want to right a wrong that you did in the past, or you want to go back somewhere that you possibly may not have ended things with someone in the best way in the past. And so right now you're facing your shadow, like, why did I do that? How can I avoid making mistakes like this or treating people like this in the future, etc. So Spirit is definitely encouraging you to do that shadow work. And the thing about shadow work is it's so empowering, because if you see the darkest parts in yourself and acknowledge and accept them first, no one can ever use that against you. So with that said, I will leave you guys. If you do want to book a personal reading, remember the information is in the description, and remember to check your other placements, and thank you for being here.